public, trying to expand globally. Long curly hair and a beard, but he ain't Toby Keith. You might have thought it's beef, but we gon' handle that. Stealing jerseys off of the wall like fuck Vanderjack. Okay, he ran with that, and now he's on the loose. Put a little bit of poison in his Jamba Juice. Go ahead and drink on that, just take another sip. Need an appraisal, shout out to Ron Huffin' Dick. The kids loving this, I know you heard it, son. The purpose is perfect, every person we learn something from. Go ahead and come along, we have a little fun. A few questions, how about 31?
Yes, here we go again on a Sunday afternoon, a sad Sunday afternoon. We are coming from the Content Factory. I got Tone Gordon in the factory with me. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just got out of Denver traffic.
How bad was it?
Not too bad. It's definitely been a lot worse.
Yeah. What happened? Someone crashed or some bullshit?
Blown tire, I'm pretty sure. That's what it looked like. Someone blew a tire and kind of took up 2 lanes.
All right. Well, first off, as always, shout out to the Patreons. Thank you guys for joining the Patreon. We were doing something special today for the Patreons, and we were going to open it up to everybody, but it's a very sad day that Kobe Bryant has passed away. So literally, I was going to post on all social media, hey, we're going to do an Ask a Comedian hashtag, and I was going to reach out and let people fire away. I reached out to the Patreons yesterday and asked them if they had any questions that we will answer those first, of course, and then so I got a bunch of Patreon questions, and then we were going to open up the floor to anybody else, but needless to say, with social media, it is not time for Ask a Comedian.
No.
It is. I'm staying away from comedians because I get it. You're a comedian, but there are some brutal jokes already that hit seconds after, and I see people fighting. I saw a couple guys post bad Kobe stuff, and they are in the middle of death threats. And just in our local scene here, a couple guys were like, don't be a hack and post these jokes, you open micers. And then people did, and they are in full out, maybe fist fight at my show tonight. So we might get more content for you. But I will say this. Were you a Kobe guy?
Yeah, huge Kobe guy. I mean, a little personal. I mean, that draft, like the Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, I think is the greatest draft ever. Mm-hmm. So I always follow his career. And then my daughter has a similar name, so we call her that. She wears number 24. She plays basketball. She wants to be in the WNBA. So I can only imagine she's probably like,
yeah,
because I introduced the highlights of the stuff he did in his career to her. So,
and you're leaving here to go to her game right now. It's gonna be. I bet it'll be as tough.
Yeah, AAU basketball.
Yeah,
might be a heavy.
Yeah, it might be a heavy day. Yeah, for me it was tough. I have so many good Kobe memories. Especially, I loved Kobe. Growing up here in Denver, he was my favorite when he came out, and I remember we went to a game when he was a rookie, and I worked at Sports Fan at the time, so I stole a bunch of dope Laker gear, and I had this shark shark ring that was awful in hindsight, but it was a big deal to come down here and see Kobe, and I took a bunch of pictures of him on a disposable camera, and then the day before, I was so excited to see him, I woke up at like 8 in the morning, and I went to the YMCA, which ironically is right down the street from my house now, and someone stole all my Lakers shit.
Oh, wow. I mean.
But then I got to see Kobe, and then I saw Kobe countless times. I probably saw Kobe probably 30 times. I mean, I saw him play for Team USA in Vegas. I would see him do the exhibition every year in Vegas. And living in Vegas, I was a Kobe fan going in, but you get all the Laker games live. So I remember me and my best friend Justin, we were both big Kobe guys, and he wore Kobe shoes. And then I remember he had to work at night at Sushi Samba in the Palms, and I would text him on nights like when Kobe got 81. I can remember Kobe getting 81. I remember Kobe's last game. I was doing shows with Jeff Dye, and we were in a casino in the middle of fucking Iowa somewhere, and I had to watch it, and I had paid for like service on my phone. I remember they were driving us in an SUV back to Omaha, and I was watching it on my phone just thinking, oh my God, he's going to get 50. Holy shit, he's going to go for 60. So it's crazy how Twitter is to see it pop up. And I was like, oh my God, is this real? But I believe TMZ. I saw a bunch of people. I was like, TMZ is not going to fucking just take a gamble on this Kobe death shit. I mean, get the fuck out of here. I saw, you know what it was? And it made me mad. A bunch of fucking reporters with the check marks that were like, well, let's wait till it's verified. I'm like, you're just mad you didn't get the fucking story. And you're not going to wait. No one's going to false Kobe dying. Get the fuck out of here. So I think even just that made me mad. It's like, I think there's gonna be a lot of sad and mad people. I was inexcusably mad at people on the internet.
Well, I mean, he was such a not. I would say for a little bit he was like polarizing there for a little bit. Like he had that beef with like Shaq, and you know, obviously all the stuff that happened here in Colorado, but like, I mean, probably after that, you know, he's definitely done more good than like anything. And I know he was like a huge proponent. I have daughters. He's a huge proponent of like women's basketball and like just an ambassador of the sport, and just seemed like a really good dude. Just bought my daughters for Christmas like the book series he was doing and stuff. Like he was doing so much cool stuff, and just on top of his legacy as a Hall of Fame basketball player.
Yeah, it sucks, man. And he's 41. I'm 42.
Yeah,
I was reading it like, holy shit. I didn't think Kobe would ever die. So death is a weird thing. And I remember I've been lucky enough not to have a lot of people close to me die. And of course, the people I want to die that are close to me won't, but that's another story. I'm always like, can't you just kill my dad? Why you had to kill Kobe? I love Kobe. But yeah, I remember Robin Williams the same way. I was in an airport, and it just hit me out. I was reading on Twitter, and I was like, oh my God, Robin Williams died. And I was sitting there crying. I was like, I never met Robin Williams. I mean, I loved Robin Williams, especially in just a comedic tie. And then the same with Brody. I was doing a shitty-ass show in Laramie, Wyoming, just sitting in my hotel room, and the same shit happens. It comes up on Twitter, TMZ. I'm like, no way. No, and then you just boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and everyone. I'm like, oh, it's fucking real. So
yeah, it's weird how like people like you're saying TMZ, and people like don't want to like, let's make sure it's very. I mean, TMZ is just as
TMZ is more credible. I think.
Yeah, more credible. It's like with National Enquirer and stuff. Like people are like, oh, they've broke some stories. Just media in general now. It's just like
maybe in the beginning TMZ, but I mean, I can't think the last time TMZ was wrong.
No,
I mean. So we'll see. This is so fresh. As we came down here to record, they were still saying maybe it's his kids were in the ABC. I think was reckless and said his kids were in the helicopter. And then I just got a text saying no family. But then you saw Rick Fox.
Yeah, I saw Rick Fox.
So by the time you guys hear this, obviously, you guys will know what happened. But it sucks. It sucks. But all right.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's make funny content.
Yeah, it's one of those things though, like where like you have like you remember where you were, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And literally, I came out of like driving through Castle Rock having no service, and it was like bing, bing, bing. Like my phone just went crazy. I was like, nuts. So.
I text my best buddies Greg and Justin, like, yo, neither of them knew. I was like, you see this Kobe shit? He's like, what? I go, he's dead. And I was like, and then everybody was like, yeah, I'll never forget right where I was sitting, like just sitting there watching a bullshit basketball game, doing nothing. Then I was like, this can't be real, but
yeah,
I guess it's real unless TMZ tricked us all, but we can only hope.
You're right.
So anyway, I love you guys. Say I love you to your friends and family, and you just never know, I guess.
That is true.
You never, ever know.
Never, ever know.
But okay, time to be funny. Dippity-doo. Do I have some sound effects or anything to get me? Let me tell you how I felt when I saw that Kobe passed. I was like...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I think that was my honest reaction. So... All right, I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah,
let's do a little Q&A. Shout out to the Patreons. Thank you guys for sending in questions. As always, thank you for being Patreons. If you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, it's very easy. Just go to Patreon, search Brandt Tobler. It's just like having Hulu or Netflix, or it just takes $7 a month out of your account. I think at the beginning of the month you have a choice to accept or decline. If you can do it, I appreciate it. We're just going to spend that money on camera so you can film. We'd be filming this right now. You can see me about to cry instead of hear me about to cry. But we're just using the money. It's not for fucking White Claw or any bullshit. We're putting all the money back into the studio. So I'm excited. My last payment for all the shit I bought is on Valentine's Day, and then I own all of this shit, the whole thing. So let that motivate you. I of course couldn't afford a studio, but I just financed it, and $250 a month for like 6-7 months, and now I own all this shit, and we have a studio, and we are here, and me and Tone, and shout out to Tone, is always making all the dopest content. I can't tell you we're making progress.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. Tone's great about sticking with me when I get frustrated because I think what we're doing is so cool. And I know I've always said it's not a race with other comics. It's an individual thing, but I get a little frustrated, and Tone's always like, just keep going. We haven't even made it through January, and we put out so much.
Yeah.
We have over 100 videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We're putting out more podcasts than anybody, and I'm proud of what we're doing, and I love everything you're doing. And I know it's good because I have so many comics hit me up and go, hey, how do you do that? Who's doing that? And I always just have to say, man, Tone, I don't know anything. I'm fucking the worst. I suck at all this. If it wasn't for Tone, we wouldn't have all this cool shit. So let me see what he says, and then I never tell him because fuck them.
Well, I'll make you a list, and then you can give it out to the good people.
Yeah, whatever. They can figure it out.
No, but no, it's we're making progress, and it's obviously because of the people listening. And the Patreons. I'm a Patreon, and I know that's $7 well spent every month.
Well, which is crazy. So. I should be paying you $700, so I appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, if you don't want to do the Patreon, that's fine. But just keep telling people. People are coming around on podcasts. A lot of people started new podcasts on New Year's and they fade away because the shit is a job. So people are going to be looking for podcasts. You can send them to any one of them. Some people love to masturbate to Shire's voice. Some people love to listen to me talk to crazy people on Craigslist. Some love just talking to some of the best comedians in the world. So I think we have a good mix, and so we'll just keep going. And today we're going to do a Q&A. Let me answer questions for a little bit. So we'll see what the Patreon's fired. So let's go. Fire away. I'm ready.
All right, we're starting out. We'll start with the first one. It's from Josh Norton. Shout out Josh Norton.
Josh Norton! Thank you, buddy, for being a Patreon.
And he asks, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever said in the pursuit of carnal relations?
What does that mean, trying to fuck?
I think so. Josh is clearly smarter than me.
Yeah, and me for sure. I don't know what cardinal, trying to fuck a Cardinals fan in Phoenix, or the most embarrassing thing I've said.
Most embarrassing thing you've ever said.
Well, I've had embarrassing because I used to. I mean, I overshare always, but we're dealing with the testosterone drought of 2020. I'm trying to get my testosterone up, so I'm taking all these vitamins, but I was taking supplements. But then my doctor told me not to if we're trying to have a kid. Not saying we're trying to have a kid, but we did pull the goalie, so I guess technically we were trying to have a kid. But in my younger days, I would just come super fast. So there was a couple times in life where I got in one pump, and then I knew I was going to come, and then I pulled out and wiggled backwards on my stomach. And then I was like, you know what? We shouldn't rush into this. I like you. I'm into you. And I was just coming all over myself. So that's pretty embarrassing, I would say that was I used to just come so fast, which I would prefer, because I could at least talk my way out of that. When I used to come fast, I'd be like, it's because you're hot. You turn me on, I'm sorry. Whereas now when I can't get hard, it's not. It's like, it's because
it's the worst.
It's because I'm the worst person in the world. That's why I have that Viagra joke, that I always just keep Viagra with me. And if you guys haven't tried Viagra, I recommend it. But
I was gonna say that is the truth, though. Obviously girls get mad if it's too fast, but you're hot. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, you did good.
I mean, it's a lot harder if you can't.
Yeah, we just made it to the finish line, which is all you wanted. So that's embarrassing. Other than that, I don't know. I think I've talked about it on here before. I'm so bad at making the first move, and what's embarrassing is countless times people are like, "Are you gonna kiss me or what?" Or just how pathetic I am at being aggressive, which probably paid off with this Me Too movement.
I'm in that boat too. I didn't.
Even though, if we're being honest, if we went back in time, I'm sure I'd be in trouble for some of this shit, which isn't good to say. But I mean, 20 years ago, we were just doing different shit.
I think all of us would be in trouble if we.
I definitely have sent some dick pictures, but I never sent them. My friends in Vegas, they would send what they call the black rose, and if they sent a text to a girl and then they didn't write back, they sent the black rose. It was just a full dick pic. But overall, I don't know, embarrassing. I would say, yeah, definitely the coming fast and wiggling out of there is embarrassing. And I don't know, maybe when I said 150 instead of 200 or something. I don't know if it's embarrassing to get a hooker, but it's just something I had to try. So
right, no wrong names or anything like that.
No,
nah.
In my younger, I was sharp. I used to have a good memory. There has been times, I think maybe once or twice, I was like, I don't know what am I doing, or if I was really drunk after a show on the road, and you're just there's more embarrassing of like what I did. Which, to be fair, I'm not fucking Brad Pitt by any means. I'm not that great naked. I'm sure girls could do the same thing about me, but there are some times when I was like, Brandt, why just jerk off? You did not have to fuck this girl. So hopefully those stories will come out in the book. I did a podcast the other day with my buddy Brian, and I told him about the book, and I was like, I don't want to hurt Shire's feelings, but then he's like, you should just make the last chapter about how you're like in love, and now you don't have to fuck random chicks anymore. And so I think that's a good plan. So maybe if I can get enough money to buy a ring, I think I can't have it just be like a girlfriend chapter.
Yeah.
I would need it to be a fiance, wife,
Makes sense.
mother of my child. Maybe and maybe that'll offset like some of the stories in there. Cause I don't think they were really that creepy, but just straight talking about fucking for 20 different chicks is not good. So
I mean, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, sex sells. I think it'll do good because I think it's funny. And I don't think, I mean, there's a couple girls that are going to get mad at me in there, but then part of it's like, I mean, they could have wrote a book about me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
I mean, they did it. I mean,
yeah, like you live your life. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say their names. I mean, people will know who some of them are, but that book haunts me. It's just like, I don't know. So maybe I just won't ever put it out. Maybe I should just write another book, but I guess if I have a little trepidation, I shouldn't do it. Because I don't, you know, you guys see me go through it on Craigslist Chaos. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. I like to have be funny. I like to make money, but I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
yeah.
Teddy, I don't know if you guys can hear that thumping. That's Teddy attacking a ball. Teddy, give me that ball.
Teddy's going after the ball.
Teddy's out of control. So Shire's in New York. As I don't know when this podcast will come out because we're recording Dead to Us on the road. But it's just me and Teddy, and he misses his mom that spoils the shit out of him. Because she's always like, "Don't be mean to him." I'm like, "I'm not mean to him. We have to discipline him a little bit. He's a fucking beggar. He just begs for food. I could fill his bowl up and then hand him a treat and then walk to the fridge and he'd still be jumping up on my calves. Like, bro, go eat your own shit. You can't eat chocolate, you know? One time at her old house, she had a big old thing of like Easter egg, like chocolate Easter eggs, and he opened it up and knocked it over and they spilt all over. And I don't know how he didn't eat them. He'd be dead probably.
Yeah,
we wouldn't even have this problem.
Yeah, chocolate and dog's not a good mix. No.
So I don't know if he did it just right before we walked in or if somehow God just stopped him from eating them. But I'll never forget that, like, because this fucker will eat anything. He'll eat weeds and shit. So I don't know how. I think someone kept Teddy for
Maybe
us.
he was like, I don't like chocolate.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He likes everything.
Dogs are weird.
Yeah. All right. On to the next question.
All right,
So, yeah, that's it. Wait, you have any embarrassing stories like that?
No. Well, I mean, along the lines you're saying, like, you know, like when, like, not being able to, like, get it up. Like, there was a story. It was actually, like, probably my second, like, serious girlfriend. Before we had ever done anything, I guess that was the night she wanted to and I took way too much Benadryl. I was like, had an allergy. I was like, nothing, you know, I didn't even think about it. I had, like, probably took, like, 2 more capsules than I probably should have. And, like,
And you were out?
it just wasn't working.
Dick coma.
Yeah. I was like, I promise it's not like this. It's not like this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of bad times with condoms. Like, I just hate them so much. And I know you have to wear them, but I just never did.
Yeah.
And luckily, hopefully it's just me and Shire. I never have to wear one again, but there's countless times when I was like, when I had sex and then we're laying there and they're like, we should have had a condom, right? And I was like, yeah, I guess we should have, but
Too late now.
yeah, well, maybe I do have a kid somewhere. But
He's writing a book.
yeah. All right, I'm ready for the next
All
one.
right, on to Becky Milliner. Sorry.
Becky. Hey, Becky.
I probably butchered that last name, but I feel bad.
I butcher them all the time. Becky Milliner. How do you spell it? M-I-L?
Milliner.
Yeah, Milliner. Milliner.
Yeah.
Becky.
Becky, shout out.
Thank you, Becky.
She asks, are you still in contact with your gambling bosses from Vegas? That's question number 1. There's a couple questions.
Okay. Should I start with that one?
Yeah, let's do that one first.
Man, that's like maybe the biggest regret of my life is that we are Facebook friends. And one time my main boss came to my show and I got to talk to him after not talking to him for like 10 years. And so that was cool. But we've texted. He travels a lot. And I said, if you come through Denver, you know, let's go out to dinner. So I don't know. I mean, it ended bad. And like, his son. I'm friends with his sons on Facebook. Like today's a weird day for us because they were LeBron guys and I was Kobe guys.
Oh,
so
wow.
they hate Kobe, and we argued about Kobe and LeBron my whole life. But then, like today, one of his sons wrote something. He said, "I never liked Kobe, but you know, it was he sent prayers for the family." But yeah, so I mean, I like all his statuses. He'll always be like the most important in my life. He changed my whole life, so he always will be special to me, no matter what happens. None of this. I've talked about it a couple times on here. Like weird decisions have changed. Just split-second decisions have changed my life, and him becoming friends with him changed my life. And then, but that's like maybe people I say you have any regrets. I don't have any regrets. I wish I was still talk to him every day because I talk to him every single day, and then I don't even remember why we had a fight in the end. And I think I talk about it a little bit in the book. He got a girlfriend who's now his wife, who was actually my roommate, and I think I was jealous. And then I got a girlfriend, and we kind of just went with our girlfriends. But yeah, so we are in contact. If I don't know how he feels about me, but I know will always be my favorite. And I think he knows that. Even in the end, I think if he was mad at me, he still knows. I mean, just from the book and stuff. So yeah, he's out there. I don't know. That would be, if I could change one thing in my life, would probably just to fix that relationship, just because I miss him and his kids, and he's just the best.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think that everyone has that kind of thing, sort of in some aspect of life, whether it's actual like biological parents or like close friends, especially like when you're younger and like relationships come around and stuff. I mean,
yeah,
it's that kind of stuff. Sometimes just you lose friends and they come back in. Hopefully,
yeah. People came in and out of my life, and I mean, he's still there. I don't know if I think if I needed him ever, I told him when I saw him, he's the only phone number I know. If something happened to me, he's the only phone number I still have memorized. So, and I told him that if you ever get a random call, you're the only number I'll probably ever know again. I don't even know my girlfriend's, my mom. I know his phone number. I could have it by heart. So, if I saw him again, if I could just sit down with him, or if somehow he came through here and we could just go to dinner, it's probably fixable.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't know where it's at. I don't know. But I would love to, it'll probably never get back to where it was, but that's when I spent every single second of every day with him. So there's no reason.
Yeah.
He has a wife and family and stuff. So we'll see. I hope so, but that's a good question.
That's an awesome question. Yeah. Good job, Becky. She also has a couple more. So
yeah.
Do you floss?
I don't. Which is so bad but you know what? I hate flossing. I hate it. I hate it. I don't take good. So I have these fake teeth that are so perfect that I don't even take good care of them, and I should. But then a dentist told me one time, and everyone's gonna say this isn't true, but if you just use like Listerine, it's just like flossing. So I did that, but then I don't know. Some of you probably saw the tweet, but then I had Listerine sitting by the sink, but Shire said the Listerine bottle's ugly. So then she put it in some cute little mason jar. But then half the time I can't even open the mason jar. It fucking makes me so mad. So my Listerine is like hidden under the kitchen sink.
I was actually just wondering. I just used the bathroom and I looked for the Listerine.
Oh, it's up behind, yeah.
Because I was there last time I was here. Because I was right after that. And I was like, that's hilarious.
No, so I don't floss unless something's really stuck in my teeth, which happened the other day. I got this blueberry cereal, which is so good, but I had like a blueberry and I couldn't get it out. So then I went through, I think Shire flosses every day. And Shire takes really good care of herself, which was, she'll be a great mother, and she'll probably raise our kids by herself, unfortunately. But she of course had the little floss things. But yeah, I just don't like to watch myself bleed. So I should definitely take better care of my teeth, because I don't know what your next question is, but if it is what caused you the most pain in life, it is tooth problems are the worst pain I've ever had. And to bring it back to Kobe, one time we flew out this is all full circle. My boss took us out. First time I went to LA, I think, stayed in Santa Monica in this beautiful hotel. We went to Lakers Spurs, like game 1 of the playoffs. And I had an incredible day. Kobe and Shaq it was amazing. And then in the middle of the night, one of my tooth flared up. my face exploded and swelled up, and I couldn't sleep. And I was walking around Santa Monica trying to rip my own tooth out of my mouth and just hoping like someone would. I was like, and I'm not a tough guy or anything, just I wanted to like start a fight with someone and just let someone. I wanted it to get knocked out of my mouth, which then crazily, when I got back, my boss got me to the dentist, and he fixed that one. And then fast forward 2 years later, I started dating the dentist's daughter, and then he fixed all my teeth, and then I had perfect teeth, and now they're bad. So, yeah, I don't floss, but because you said that, Becky, I'm going to try to floss a little more. At least get the Listerine back.
Yeah, for sure. My daughters have braces. We work constantly on them. Like, yeah, brush it, like wash it, like floss it. Come on. I'm sure it's extra hard though with this stuff.
Yeah, I can't. I remember when I had braces, but I just never liked flossing. It's not fun.
Flossing
Some
sucks.
people love it.
No, they're
Weird.
Yeah.
Unless it's you, Becky, you're awesome.
She's like a dental hygienist. She's
Yeah.
like, come on. And then she has a couple more.
Okay.
How is your brother? What does he do for a living?
My brother is good. He's good. My brother worked at Cracker Barrel for like 15 years, which I love Cracker Barrel. Another place has fond memories because every time I'd go to Phoenix to see my grandparents, we'd always go right to Cracker Barrel and eat with my brother. So my brother worked there for a long time, but then he got fired. Now my brother works at another breakfast spot in like Surprise, and he's good. You know, I have a new joke about him that I don't think he's gonna like. Well, I don't know if he's gonna like it or not, but I love my brother. He's just so sweet. But I tell a joke on stage where he doesn't have a lot of money because he spends all his money to go see the Grateful Dead. He's a deadhead, so he has like a VW bus, and he like just travels around and goes and sees the Grateful Dead. So he just works to have money to get beer and
That's
weed
cool.
and go see the Dead. I respect it so much because I've talked about it before. When he dropped out of high school, I was like, "You're a loser. You're ruining your life." And now he was just a comedian before a comedian. You know, he was just on the road going to shows selling drugs, where I'm on the road going to shows selling jokes.
Yeah.
So I like have a way more respect for it. But so he. Yeah, he's good. I talk to him. You know, my brother, he doesn't communicate a lot. Like, so with him, it's just no news is good news. Like, if he texts, my heart pounds. If it says my bro on my thing, I'm always like, are we good? And then it's usually something sweet, or he's watching soccer. Or he'll probably text me something today about Kobe and just be like, sorry. But no, my brother's good. I just worry talk about bad teeth. That's the thing. Because he smoked cigarettes for the last him and my mom, and then they just drink and they don't take care of it. I'm worried about them both, and I'm like, I wish I would get a little money, and then I would probably fix his teeth because I love him, and but he deserves a good girl, but I don't think he has confidence. I wish he'd just get a girl, and but he does all right with girls. And you know, the crazy thing about my brother, he's a great dancer.
Oh yeah.
I'm so jealous of him. I'm the worst dancer. He is a great dancer, but he is the sweetest. He is the sweetest little brother, and I love him, and I worry about him. But I also know he just stays in his little bubble and drinks beer and plays with his dogs. He has dogs he loves, and then just either listen to the Grateful Dead or travel around trying to see him. So he's a good dude, though. I'm very proud of him, and I just want to keep him out of trouble. So he's good. But he's in Phoenix. If you ever go down to Phoenix, let me know, and I'll tell you, go into his restaurant. He'll take good care of you. He's a great waiter.
I was gonna say I went down to Arizona last year for spring training. So,
oh yeah. So he's out in Surprise. So if you go down, go in and let me know. Go in and see him. He's a good waiter. He should moved his way up, but he's got a lot of chill in him.
I mean, he wants to go see the Dead, you know?
Yeah, he just wants the Dead. So he went the other day. Well, I guess it was New Year's, and he went to San Francisco, and he was in the front row. So
oh, sweet.
I just worry about him because he's just wild, man. He's just solo wild. So
I mean,
but no, he's great. He's doing good. Thanks for asking.
He's doing what he loves. So
yeah. I think he's happy.
All right, she has one last question.
All right, Becky, give it to me.
Are you filming a special anytime soon?
You know, I don't know. We talked about it. We've talked about it. Me and Shire just doing it ourselves because I don't know the process of this and who's doing what. And I think I have enough material, and I think the stories, if I could get them on like a good recording, would be great. I mean, the fact that this is not happening is at like 3.4 million when there's a lot of people much more famous than me that have way more views than. Because I think I think the long form story. So if I did shoot a special and I did like 4 or 5 stories and then I could put them out, I think it could change. But on that, again, it'd probably just be like, we've done everything. I'll just do it myself. If I just, if we got the money and then just shot it. I've had people reach out that want to shoot it, but I mean, it's expensive, probably on the low end, like 20,000
Oh, wow.
is what I would have to have. So, and then, like Jay, you guys heard Jay Larson talk on here. I think I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I think he spent 40,000 of his own money, and he shot at beautiful theater. Everything was great. And then he tried to sell it, and I don't know who's buying shit. And it's one of those things, what I want to do maybe is shoot. I'm thinking about doing a one-man show of pretty much the book.
Oh, wow.
So Adam Caton Holland, a very funny comic out here, he has a one-man show that's been very successful. So I'm going to go watch him, the way he did this. Because I wrote this one-man show when I lived in L.A. But again, I just never have money as far as like, just renting theaters and doing all that. So, so we'll see. Hopefully there'll be something. I pitched to Netflix for that Degenerates.
Oh, sweet.
But it's just, once again, which I would be perfect for. I have the Vegas stories. They shoot it in Vegas, but, LA is so stupid that this is how I always describe. There's like 5 people in LA that make decisions. And then, so if one of those people don't say you're good, then everyone doesn't care. But then when one of those people say you're good, everyone will just be like, oh, we said he was good this whole time. We were so it's all, a lot of it's just luck. But I think stand-up wise, I don't have a big enough following for Netflix for that. But if I did a one-man show and it was good enough, maybe, or I could maybe Amazon Prime or Hulu, so who knows?
You never know, with more and more people like...
If you keep telling people about the podcast, we keep growing. And I mean, shit could change at any time, and we're always making new shit. And, I think I've talked about it on here before, but the staff at Comedy Works, countless times, they said, man, Theo sold out 5 shows. They're like, Theo was here maybe a year ago. There's like 120 people. Yeah. Like Tom Segura was here 2 years ago. He might have had 90 people. I mean, I remember opening for like Sebastian, for like 120 people. Now he's selling out Madison Square Garden. So I think it can change fast. But I mean, it probably won't change fast, but you never know.
It's just exposure, though. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, what do comedians typically do their specials, like a 1-2 year turnaround, like like the big people? Yeah, probably a year or two. So I mean, like in a 2-year span, a lot could change. I mean, like you said, Theo in the 1 year. Look at that. I mean, that's if something happens. I mean, I think we're growing and growing, so I think we'll get there. But if something big popped one of these times, then we could. I mean, it's just I got to make them money. I can't. That's all LA is making untalented people money. That's what I really believe. You meet these agents and managers. They don't know shit. They don't do shit. You guys have heard me tell the story about how my manager we just made. He's like, I can't be a manager. I was like, why can't you? And then like some other comics. I told this girl she was working in a law office and she just liked comedy. I told her how to do it. Now she reps like 5 or 6 people. Oh wow. It ignores the shit out of me. I'm like, you remember, bitch, I sat down and told you could do this, but that's another story. But so it's a stupid business, and what me and Tone talk about, we just keep working, and what we believe in is we just keep doing this shit, and then if I do pop, or when I do pop, we have this backlog. Yeah. We have videos, we have the podcast, we have everything. So if I pop tomorrow and you went to YouTube to check me out, there's 100 videos waiting for you. And there's a lot. There's podcasts. Yeah, and I've been on every podcast. And that's another thing. If I did the book, then I could go do the podcast rounds. Yeah. I need something to promote where I can call Ari and Bert and Tom and say, hey, can you guys help me on this? And then just go around and do one run, which would change everything. But then we're back to the book thing. So to answer your question, hopefully there'll be a special of some sort at some time. So we will see. One man show of the new book. No, a book, one man show. No. We're just gonna keep doing something something that one day will make me famous, and you guys can call me and people won't believe you know me, and I'll always answer. I'll say, what, Becky, what's up? Yeah, exactly. You gave me $7 when I had nothing. Yeah, I mean, and I have a good memory. All right, on to the next question. On to the next one. So we have Nolly Cab is what it says. Nolly Cab. Yep, and so I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but it's a pink cat, so I think it might be. I don't know. We'll just leave it. Yeah, we should have looked it up. Whoever. I don't know. Nolly Cab, whoever Nolly you are, Cab. You know you are. Shout out Nolly Cab. Shout out Nolly Cab. I'll figure it out after the episode, and we'll give you a shout out. And then so So you're having an amazing sex dream, like seriously the hottest you can ever even imagine. You wake up, look down, and you realize your mom has been sucking your dick the whole time. Do you let her finish, or do you kill yourself in shame?
Oh, well, those are my only two options. I would never kill myself, so I would guess I would let her finish. But that's an interesting question. I mean, I don't want to kill myself. I don't think I could ever do it. I don't even know how I would do it. So I guess I would let her finish, but it would be gross. I mean, it's weird. I like watching stepmom porn. So if it was my stepmom, I'd say, yeah, finish. But my mom, which I know I've told the story on before when I've had sex right with my mom passed out next to me in a bed close by. So it was close to that. But no, I guess it wasn't close to that. But no, to answer your question, what is it, Nolly 5478659?
Nolly Cab.
Nolly Cab. I'm just going to let her finish and then kill her so no one ever knows but me. No, I don't know. I guess just let her finish.
I mean, yeah, that's
because I'm not built for killing myself. I think that's the bad way out.
I mean, that's a bad. You just have no option, no good option there. They're no good.
Well, that's like the one everyone always asks: would you rather eat your mom out or suck your dad's dick? And I'm just like, ugh.
You're like, ew.
I mean, I always pick eat your mom out, but I don't want to even answer it. But
you're like, neither.
So then everyone's like, no, you can't do that. You got to do it. So,
oh man, it looks like we have like another long question one, so this will be a fun one. But it's from Dollar Menu Alex.
Dollar Menu Alex, my favorite name.
That's a good one, yeah, for sure. And Dollar Menu has quite a few questions, so here we go. Question number 1: which option would you choose? One. Oh, I guess maybe it's just one. My bad.
Okay.
But it's the options. So question 1. Which option would you choose? Number 1. Every movie you watch is Grown Ups 2.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if you go to the movies to see a new release. All you'll see is Grown Ups 2.
Okay.
2. Every song you listen to is photographed by Nickelback in an elevator, grocery store, concert. Doesn't matter.
All right.
That's the only one you get.
Okay.
That's the first question. There is actually 2 questions.
Okay, so those are my choices?
Yeah.
Well, that's easy for me because I don't really watch movies at all. I can't. I want to watch Uncut Gems is the only one, but I can't think of the last time I've been to a theater. So
I can't either.
Movies are such a nighttime thing, and I'm out at shows or concerts, or I never watch a movie, and so that's easy. And I don't even mind Nickelback Photograph. I saw Nickelback, and they were great. So Nickelback came to Cheyenne, and then like everyone wanted to see Eric Church, and I actually love Eric Church. I've seen him a bunch of times. He puts on a great show, but he just like sent it in that night.
Yeah,
I think part of it was because he couldn't do his full stage because there was mud. But I give Nickelback credit; they put on a good show, man. And people shit on their songs, but there's 3 or 4 of them when they came on. I was like, I know every word, and they interact with the crowd, and they tried. And as just a person that sucks at music, I have such a respect for music. I could do Nickelback.
I mean, look
at this photograph.
Every song.
I've never even seen Grown Ups 2. Is it bad or something?
It's bad, yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, I would. I could do Nickelback. That's my choice.
So you're taking that you get to watch movies still. Every song is.
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Oh, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So then,
yeah, you either get Grown Ups for all the movies, or you have to listen. So it's basically.
Oh wait, so all my music's Nickelback from now on?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
then,
just that song.
But that's all I can hear forever?
No matter what.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
I change it.
Some movies.
Yeah, some movies for sure. Because I listen to music all day.
Yeah.
It's such a huge part of my life. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misinterpreted that. Yeah, that's the easy one.
So you're Grown Ups 2 for the rest of your life. Movie.
That might be the case anyway. Until I have kids and they want to watch something, but I can't imagine. Like I said, I want to watch Uncut Gems, which is kind of grown up Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could give a shit. I don't watch movies, and Shire's not really into them, so Shire falls asleep in 20 minutes of any show, so she's not a movie girl.
Yeah, I don't go to a lot of movies either. If my kids want to go see a movie, it's like they plan it around when I'm either at work or they just go. And
yeah.
So
that was an easy one. Dollar Menu Alex.
Question number 2 from Dollar Menu Alex. We have.
I just want to give a shout out to Dollar Menu Alex and just Dollar Menus in general because I can't eat them anymore because of my stupid gluten. But man, I used to. Being a comic, that's the comic world is Dollar Menu.
Yeah.
Spicy chicken Dollar Menu at McDonald's. I'd crush those.
Dollar Menus are good.
Yeah, and I'd get like That's what I miss is McDonald's. You McDonald's guy or no?
Yeah, I only do their breakfast usually though.
Yeah, but now you can do breakfast all the time.
Yeah.
I dropped Shire off the airport, and there's between our house and the airport, or like the exit, there's just a McDonald's and a Burger King, and I love both those breakfasts. But I couldn't. I had to go to the store and get this organic milk and gluten-free blueberry Cheerios that sucked. They tricked me.
I do the keto diet, so like it works for me. I just don't eat the McMuffin on just sausage and cheese.
I love the McMuffins. But okay, go ahead. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry, Dollar Menu Alex. You got my Dollar Menu brain going.
Question number 2. Current over-under for the Super Bowl is 54.5 and Chiefs minus 1.5. You taking the over or the under? And who do you have winning?
Man, this will go down in history. Well, I'm a stone sucker, so I always bet over because who wants to root for the under? It's
always
so boring. And these two teams can score. Kansas City has no defense.
No defense.
So I'm going to take the over, and I want San Francisco to win. And I think everybody's picking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And just as a Bronco fan, I can't root for the Chiefs. And I have both camps on both sides now because a lot of my close friends are either Niners fans or Chiefs fans. But just the stupid Bronco-ness, I'm going to take the Niners because I'm rooting for the Niners. So I'm going Niners and over in a parlay. Put it down, bet it all.
That's fair enough.
What did my gambler friend used to say? Bet early, bet often.
I mean,
Get to the window.
The 49ers looked really good in that last game. And
but that's the key to gambling. People always remember the last thing they saw.
Yeah.
But I think both teams look good. So I think I read something today that like NFL insiders are big on the Chiefs. So maybe, I don't know, who knows anything. So
who's singing the national anthem? I mean, we got the over. Remember that?
Yeah, we could bring that back. Oh, someone is that they've been studying that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Somebody, I saw it on Twitter like a week ago. Someone's like training for the national anthem bet. It's going way over. I'll tell you that. It's going over. And it's just from Twitter because someone said they've watched. I think it's Ariana Grande or someone.
Oh, then it's definitely going over.
Said her last like 7 performances was bet the over. So
a lot of runs.
Bet the over, and I miss that part of betting, the fun of
with all the prop bets and stuff.
That was another one. Bring back Kobe. I used to always bet Kobe more points than Kobe knew. Kobe knew when the lights were on.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's one of my daughter's dreams. Is it's on her bucket list is to sing national anthem at a sporting event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is she a good singer?
Yeah. She takes like singing lessons and stuff.
That is on my nightmare bucket list. Things I want to do the least. The only time I'd ever want to sing is like take me out to the ball game.
That'd be cool
because you don't have to be good at that. You can just scream it. But yeah, I can't. If you said sing the national anthem, first of all, I'd butcher the words.
Yeah.
Well, we got to make that happen for her.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
What grade is she in?
So I have 1 in 7th and 1 in 6th. The 1 in 6th is the one that wants to.
Oh, right now is the perfect time.
So
can she do it at the high school games you always go to?
Well, that's that one. Some girl actually just did it the other night when we went. So maybe we'll try to get it in there.
Try to. Let me reach out and find.
I don't know. It gets a weirder though because like sometimes they do the Pledge of Allegiance before the games.
Oh really?
I don't know why. It's just like a recent thing they started doing. I don't even know.
I love the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was doing a corporate gig one time and they weren't paying attention, and that's how I got them to pay attention. I just started the Pledge of Allegiance and everyone's just trained to stand up and shut up.
Dang right.
Yeah, we got to get her. Because 6th grade, no one's gonna get mad at her.
Nah.
Is she a good singer though? She'll be good?
She's good. Yeah.
Oh, then she'll fucking nail it.
Like she has like maybe like 2 or 3 like YouTube videos like where I'm playing guitar for her and like she sings, so she likes that.
All right, well we'll make it happen.
Awesome, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, I know plenty of coaches around here and shit. I think people are scared to do it most of the time.
I know she's fearless. That kid's nuts.
That's how you got to train them.
Nuts in a good way. So that was the 4 questions there. I don't.
Who's
know
that from Dollar Menu, Alex?
That was his end of his. So
shout out.
I think that might be it. I don't know.
Are we done?
Unless I'm missing something.
Let's
see if I'm missing something.
I thought Jesse. Oh no, here we go.
Oh, I missed some. I was trying to open.
Wait, there's one. Oh no, there's a couple more up here. Eddie and Matthew. I thought unless Jesse's Nolly. Jesse told me, sent me a crazy one. That might be Jesse. Shout out to Jesse, the manager at Comedy Works. He's my boy.
Shout out to Jesse because his last name's Gordon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys got matching names.
So I don't know if he spells it the same way, but.
There's only one way to spell it, isn't there? Gordon?
That's how most people spell it. But a lot of people try to spell it like Jordan, but with a G. Like A-N.
Oh.
That's weird.
I think he's Gordon.
That's the normal way.
Shout out, Jesse. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right. And so this one is from, I'm going to definitely just butcher this last name, Matthew Tolpani.
Oh, Matthew Talapui?
Yeah.
Talupi? Matthew T is what they call
Matthew
him
T.
in elementary. Shout out, Matthew. Send me a way to say it right. I never want to say him wrong, but you guys know I'm an idiot. Talalupi.
Yeah. I always hope if it's a weird name, it's like there was a professional athlete before.
Yeah.
Like if it was Tuiasosopo or whatever, like, I could pronounce that. All right, so here's the question. What would you personally consider being a successful comedian? Amount of work, money earned, content created, and consumed by fans. What are you striving for?
A successful comedian? Whew. I don't know. That might just be a personal for each comedian, honestly, because I don't know. I mean, there's not like a set of money. I guess I would say a successful comedian is when you don't have a day job. You know, like if if it pays your bills, then I would say but you're still going to be very moderately or barely surviving probably. But I mean, if you don't have it, if you are paying your bills from comedy, I'd say that's very successful because it's hard to do and it's like something you should be very proud of. That's why I get mad sometimes when, of course, it's the internet, but all these fucking open micers and I was an open micer too, but it's like sometimes people say shit to me. I'm like, all right, who the fuck are you talking to? You know, like I have a respect for the people before me. Like when I started, I guess there was more of a bully culture, but you didn't fuck with the people ahead of you because you respect like. You know, like, there's the guys here, the Grolix dudes, or there's good comedians here that were before me. First of all, this was their scene. I've never got out of line in this scene because they were here before me, and I respect them. But then some of these young pups, man, they want to a lot of these chicks want to talk shit and, like, blame males and shit, but you're just not good. That's my biggest pet peeve. Like, I'm not, like, a feminist, like I'm just for fair. I'm not gonna pretend like but I think I'm an ally or whatever the fuck. I just want it to be fair.
Yeah.
But there's so many. I've gotten to arguments with chicks here that are just like telling me about comedy. I was like, you never done anything. You don't even do anything.
I mean, that makes sense.
And I hate that. I would never do that. And it's not even about a girl guy thing. But there's a lot of women. Like I've said it before. When I started, I didn't think women were funny because I was just a dummy. And then I had like Tig Notaro in my backyard or Morgan Murphy, or I saw. Like women bury me. Yeah. So it's never, to me, it's never a female male thing, a black white thing. You're just good. Like to me, it's just a good thing. Yeah. And I've had and just unfortunately in our scene, we had when I moved here in Denver, we had a couple girls that were just shitty that got the whole thing, and they've all quit and gone now. So like that part, I don't know why I'm on that tangent, but I fucking just hate. I just would like, I guess I'm just sound like an old man, get off my lawn, but the guys before me and girls before me, I just have respect for. I don't fuck with them. But so I would say, yeah, but all these people that like, I mean, if you're doing stand up, that's a success anyway. I mean, yeah. So, but I guess if I had to put a term on it, I would say, yeah. But I mean, like, do I feel successful? Sometimes when I'm not, like when I look at my bank account, no. But then when I go, oh man, I have 2 CDs, or I wrote a book, I've been on Comedy Central, I've been on TV, I've performed in 7 countries, I have a podcast I've had the biggest comics in the world on, then I'm like, oh, I'm very successful. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's money driven. If it's money driven, none of us are really successful except for the rich. That's the thing in the money game in this. You're just broke, surviving. Oh man, this is kind of a cool little life. Rich, you know. I'm just trying to get to this next step where you don't have to sweat your phone bill. But then you get to that one. That's the hardest one to get to. I think that, takes like 10 years to get to like surviving. Yeah. Then at like 15, you're like, oh shit, I have a few fans. I make some money. People are buying a few tickets to see me. And then if you get to that next step, you fucking buy a Porsche. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
That's why these podcasts are so important, because you're talking to everywhere, not just like here in this little.
That's what another thing. These fucking young comics were like, oh, what am I gonna have a podcast? Someone called me out the other day. I'm like, if you look at every successful podcast, every successful comedian, they have a podcast. Yeah. So you should do it. You can fight it if you want, but you're just behind times.
For sure.
There's a reason shit's successful. So this fucking douche said something to me the other day. ROI, return of investment. I looked, you have one review. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you looked at. But then I posted, I have like 517 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
I've over we're on the verge. We're over 500,000 downloads of my podcast. So shit like that's a success.
Yeah.
So to answer that, I mean, it just comes back to what we always talk about. But stand-up's just a roller coaster of like, if I really think about how far what I've accomplished, it's amazing. I mean, you guys are listening to me talk right here. It's cool.
Yeah.
You guys are like tuning in. You guys, some of you guys send me $7. It's crazy. It's cool. So I think that's a success because I think that people believe in me makes me feel successful. But then if you just look at money wise, none of us are that successful except for
I was gonna say, well, that will lead into like some part of like second part of the question is, I said we have 100-seat club here with well-known headliners weekly: Big J, Mark Norman, Rich Voss, etc. There are 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, with tickets between $15 and $18 per show. Approximately how much do they make a weekend? I've always been curious this one. Like would that be
I wonder
like,
where he's at. What do you say, 100%?
100-seat club.
So those guys are all, so I would say if I was their agent, it's weird because I don't want to put people's business out, but because I was like, I know what Mark Norman made here.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's not fair for me to say.
No.
But he's doing good. But for that, if I was Mark Norman and I went to that room, there's 5 shows.
4 shows. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, with tickets between $15 and $18 per show.
So that's like a small theater.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked if I was Mark Norman and I did that room,
yeah,
I would have to have 100% of the door.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's the part that since I'm here and I'm a comedy fan as well. There's different structures, right? It's like
so like for instance, when I headline here at Comedy Works, I get $250 to headline.
Yeah,
I have no door deal. That's why I have no problem comping. I just want as many people in there as I can. Now I think a standard door deal at a club, if you're like a regular person, would be like 80%.
Okay, if
you're good. So like, for instance, I saw a contract. It was like $30,000 or 80% over that or whatever. And then the dude sold out all 5 shows.
Oh, sweet.
So I think he got like 50,000 and like 1,500 for travel.
That's nice.
And then he stayed at the 4 Seasons, but I think he might have paid himself. So I know at like Comedy Works, nobody gets 100% of the door except for Chappelle. Chappelle gets 100%.
Yeah.
Tickets are $100. No one really knows the true number of the room. Let's say it's 300.
Yeah.
He gets 30,000 a show, does 5 shows. They give him 150,000. He's out.
Yeah.
He pays for his own travel. He pays for his own. So, but I think like, I would say like, because I got into arguments with people before, like Colin Jost, let's say he came in on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, this is a dead. If you can sell tickets on like Ali Wong or like even a Normand or Andrew Schultz or these guys now, if they could come in on a Tuesday and sell out 2 shows, if I was their manager, I would say 90% minimum.
Yeah.
Now I know, and I think this is still the rule at Comedy Works, and I only know this because Bert was talking about it. But I think so let's say when Bert came, and I think Bert's talked about this, the biggest check. But Bert came, let's say he did a Sunday show, and I think let's say he had 80% of the door. And I don't feel bad saying this because Bert will tell you this shit.
Yeah.
He's real honest. But for that, let's say Bert, from my understanding at Comedy Works, whatever you get 80, let's say standard's about 80% of the door. But then any show you add, you get 100%.
Oh, okay.
So if you add a show, you get 100% of the door. So then like another comic I know does 5 shows, and then he did a live podcast on Sunday.
Oh, sweet.
And I know he got 80%. So I think standard would be about 80% is what you should negotiate.
Yeah. So that's cool though. I mean, so like, they obviously probably the 100% is because you're adding more time in. Yeah. And they're just making their money.
They're just making more money off liquor and stuff. But even for instance, like I did a show the other night, and I got to do better at asking for money. But then both shows were sold out, and they're bragging about it. And then they gave me $50 a show. I was like, you can't. Yeah. I fucking threw a fit. I was like, I get $50 a show for free shows. Yeah. So it's just a shitty business when it comes to money.
That was like that wasn't Comedy Works. That was
Comedy Works is. I mean, Comedy Works is a standard 50 to host, like 60 to feature, which is considered cheap compared to everywhere else, but you just won't work at Comedy Works. Yeah. And you don't say shit to her because if you do, you just don't work. Yeah. She doesn't fuck around. One comic said something, Because standard is at a club is 50 for a host, 100 for a feature, 200 for a headliner. That's just no door deal. That's just what it should be everywhere. Now Wendy does 50 for a host, but then there's like a B1 and then a A1. So the B1 does like 10, the A1 does 20. So then she pays like, I think 35, 60. So it's essentially the same, but
It's just split up.
it'd be better if we got $100 a show, but we, like we don't say shit.
Yeah.
But then she lets you get drinks for $2 if you're a comedian.
Yeah.
So that adds up. So I mean, she takes good care of us, but as I always tell people, if you're in it for the money, this is not the right business.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're at a club and you see someone that you like, you can. If they sell out, you can be guaranteed they're at least at like 80% of the door. A lot of them have door bonuses, but I think it would come to 80%. So whatever that is, 80% of 1,500 would be what, like 1,000, 5,000. But I can't see Mark Norman or Big J doing shit for 5,000 anymore, because I would imagine they're. I can't say, I don't know what Big J got, but I would assume he got at least 20 or 30 to do Comedy Works.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think they were like $40 tickets. So yeah, that's how it works. It's not a money business
Who sets that just made me think. Who sets the ticket price? Is it the comic or is it the
I don't know. I think that's probably just
I always wondered
because like
that.
my tickets are 14 and then some people's are like 25 and then like Chris Tucker's were 50.
Yeah.
Then like I think standard for like, but then like when Tom's coming, his are I think 30 or 35. But I think Tom's just rich and he just wanted to do a show there.
That's cool.
Because I think Tom's other tickets were like 100.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's how you can do the math if you're ever curious. I would just go 80% of the door.
It's fair enough. So he has one. That looks like one last question.
Yep.
What do you think about big comics that employ writers? I'm not talking about one-offs like roast, but comedians that have help writing their act.
I mean, I get it because they're just not relatable anymore. So like all Ron White's head writers here, and then he just hired a bunch of the locals to like write. A lot of people in Denver wrote. I don't know if I should say whatever I'm saying it, but like I know his head writer's here and his old head writer was here. But I mean Ron White doesn't probably have anything relatable to his crowd. His crowd's fucking white trash rednecks, and he is on a private plane with his own tequila. So I think he hired like the white trash rednecks that live here to write jokes for him. So I get it. Like I had someone reach out to me about getting. He lived in the middle of Virginia, and he can't be a comedian as a family. He's like, I like Sickler and Santino. I was like, they're not gonna. They write their own shit.
Yeah.
You always so. To me, I couldn't do it. Like I could, if you wrote a joke for me or something, like a tag or something, maybe I could use it, or a premise. But a full writer, but I think that's just when you're just too busy and you're unrelatable. So I don't mind it. None of us use it. You know what I mean? No comics on my level or even bigger level that I know use writers.
How does that work for like the comics that do? So like I know from the music side, because I play music, like if you write like a riff or something like that, it adds. How does that, is that comparable in comedy for you?
So like I think I know someone who wrote 2 of Ron White's jokes on his last special. I think he gave him $4,000.
Oh, sweet,
like
okay.
$2,500 for one and $1,500 for the other.
Okay.
So if you're into joke writing and it's not, but like I don't know, people are always like, what would you sell your jokes for? I was like, part of me is like, fuck it, I'll sell them all.
Yeah.
Because I can just write more. But then the other part of me is like, these are my jokes for me, and I would hate, so. But I think like standard. I mean, if Ron White reached out to me, I would expect if I'm going to write a joke that he's going to use on the road for, let's say, 60 dates and make $100,000 a night.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd at least want
A lot.
Yeah. But then the thing is, you just prey upon us fucking broke comics. If you paid me $3,000 to write a joke right now, that'd be more money than I have probably in life. So I'd be like, I just doubled what I have in my whole life. So yeah, here, take this joke. So
that's true, right?
It's just it's just this just isn't the money business until you're Ron White and you have all the money. So
and then you pay people.
But yeah, so I don't know anybody. People might write tags or something. I'll take a tag from someone, but then again, like someone comes up and says, "Hey, I wrote this," but I don't know who else they gave it to.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so then
true.
if we're the only thing you have in this, is you don't want to be. If you a joke thief is just the worst thing you can be as a comic. So that's another reason you don't take anything from anybody else, because you're like,
You just don't even want to
Then
mess
someone
with
else,
it.
yeah, then you're like, oh shit, now my reputation wasn't worth this 30-second laugh. So yeah, it's only for like the big Kevin Hart runway,
yeah.
and I can't imagine ever doing it.
Well, I mean, I guess like when you get that unrelatable and you're just not.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know.
All right, so it looks like Eddie has a question.
Eddie,
Shout out Eddie.
shout out Eddie, what up, buddy? We got to wrap this up. You got to get to a game.
Yeah, we got time.
You sure?
We'll knock it through.
All right.
So since Shire has stayed with you this long, and knowing all of your stupid stories and your past, can I come to your wedding?
Of course.
That was question 1.
Of course, all Patreons are invited. That's another reason to join the Patreon. You can come to the wedding. I don't know what it's going to be, or it's either going to be huge or it's going to be nothing. So
Not going to be at a Taco Bell, though.
not going to be at a Taco Bell, but yeah, I don't know what we'll do about that. But of course, you can come.
That's awesome. Yeah. $7. That's a good investment.
Yeah.
And then, so more questions. How did you finally decide to move to Colorado besides finances?
Well, I just didn't like LA anymore is the simplest answer. I just didn't like it. I just wasn't happy, and I just didn't. I was living with Jeff, with my buddy Jeff Dye, and then we got in a big fight, and we're friends again. We made up, but at the time, and it was probably, I don't know if it's his fault, but whatever. I just didn't like LA. I missed home. I missed like my real friends. Jeff's a good friend, but in LA I just didn't have a lot of friends, so I just didn't like it. So I took off. I was gonna go to Phoenix, and then the world just aligned. I had to come here for a funeral, and then Heather Snow, a friend of mine, comic, passed away of cancer. I came to a funeral, and then the GM of Comedy Works saw me at the funeral and said, "Hey, why don't you work at Comedy Works?" And I was like, because I can't. It's Comedy Works. You can't get in here. And she's like, I'm the GM. And then she helped me get in. And then I thought about moving. I said I'm going to move to Denver. I came up and did some shows, and then I moved up. And Steve Simone, his first headlining week, vouched for me, got me to be his feature. And then I got here, and then I ran into my boy Will, who said he had a condo, and then he gave me that incredible condo. And then it's just like it was definitely meant to be. So the short answer, I just didn't want to be in LA anymore. I wasn't doing anything in LA. I wasn't getting any better. I'm not an actor. LA just wasn't for me. And I want to get married. I want to have kids. That's not really the LA mentality. So I think it was like going to college. I was there, I think, 8 years, and I learned a lot. It was good for me. I had some cool experiences, but this is like, I want to get closer to home where, I never knew I'd meet Shire or anything, and I knew Comedy Works was great, but I didn't know it'd become like my family, and and now thank God I moved here.
Yeah.
So it's the best.
Everything works out for a reason.
Everything has worked out for me. That's why I'm not really religious, but then again, I don't know how this shit somebody's looking after me. I don't know what it's called, but somehow when I need it every single time, and part of it's just my friends, that Wyoming connection was probably what brought me back, is when, I have fucking 300 people I can count on.
Yeah.
And I really believe that. It's just a weird Wyoming thing. Like, if I called any of them right now, they would do, I really believe that. And I would do the same for them. So I think getting just drawn back to my root, just to be around my Wyoming people, not be in Cheyenne, it's too windy, but be around them just brought me back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Things just kind of happen.
Yeah,
and sometimes I think you kind of have to get away from your roots to come back to them. And appreciate them a little bit more too.
For sure. But I love the place now, but I couldn't wait to leave. But now I had to grow up and realize the stuff that wasn't cool when I was a kid is what's really cool now. So
yeah.
All
right, we have a couple more.
All right,
a couple still from Eddie.
Eddie,
are people as cool outside of podcasting? Or do they pretend while recording, and do you still keep in contact with other podcasters?
Most of them are cool. If you get them on, they're cool. First of all, everyone has been cool to me because they love doing the podcast.
Yeah.
People love the 31 because they just ask them 31 questions about themselves. So there's countless times people are like, oh, man, I didn't even really want to do this, but I'm glad I did. So comedy-wise, yeah. Everybody is cool. Like, some of these guys are bigger than, I can't call... Sometimes I'll message Tom or Bert or some of these guys, and they'll like I spent time with Santino. I sent him a message about podcasting, and he's like sent me the nicest message back. Like, my wife's here, and some guys are. Sickler's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Jay had no problem coming on. So honestly, yeah, they it's just an inconvenience. Sometimes people don't think they want to do a podcast, but then when they do it, they like it. So everybody I've had on, I can't think of anybody I wouldn't have on again, honestly. So
Yeah.
it's just part of the hustle, and like some of these guys don't need it, which I get, but I like doing it. So
I love podcasts.
Some people, but no, they. I wish I could shit on somebody for you guys. No, like I say all the time, comics are the best, and they know. Sometimes people don't respond, and then like I've said on here before, like last time Bert was in town, I reached out to him, and then he was busy or whatever, and then it kind of hurt my feelings. But then I also realized, man, I only reach out to my famous friends when I need something.
Yeah.
So that's not that's on me, like we don't, and he just did a show, and he's busy, and like I'm the least of his worries. So like it's easy for me to. I always try to be good to my fans, but I have like 10 fans, so it's easy to always be in contact with them. I forget. So as far as that, even when I get my feelings hurt a little bit, when I'm rational and like, these guys are busy, man. It's not my dad,
Yeah.
So, but no, again though, like if I ever called Bert or Tom or any comedian, the comic bond is so strong. Like it's probably why I love it as much as I love Wyoming. Is they would like when I was on Barstool and I reached out to Bert, hey man, can you retweet this? I'm trying to get this Barstool. Didn't even bat an eye. He did it. So, and then guys like Sickler or all these guys, I can't. Like I said, I wish I could shit on somebody. The people I don't like, I'm just not friends with. They've never been on the podcast. So
Makes sense.
But no, it's a pretty cool. Like I always say, it's a cool fraternity sorority to be in because everybody that's cool knows we've all been down the same road. Everyone's been me trying to gain the podcast. Bert and all those guys, they didn't. I mean, I was doing Tom's podcast. We lived in a little fucking house. And it like, I've been on, people are always like, do your mom's house. I've been on it 3 times.
Yeah.
I was at the start of I was in the ground floor of your mom's house.
And they were all really good. Speaking of being on podcasts.
Yeah.
The next question from Eddie is, can you be the middleman to get Ryan and Jay to do a Honeydew Pod episode?
I can't, but it'll happen. It'll happen. I don't think they need a middleman. I think it's just it'll just be time, and it'll happen.
Yeah.
I talking to both of them, they know they're a big part of each other's lives, and I don't think it was. I know a lot about. It wasn't a bad breakup, but sometimes people. It's like anything. People go their separate ways, and even me and Jeff, in the end, when I was mad at Jeff, I don't think Ryan and Jay were really mad at each other, but then the bond will always bring you back together. So there's no way. There's definitely. I would bet everything there'll be a Honeydew podcast. It's just I can't do it.
Right.
And I'm sure. And trust me, they both know that everybody wants it, and maybe somebody will have something to promote, and they'll. It's always a business, Ryan might have something big or Jay might have something big, and that's
Catalyst,
they also know it's a fucking gold mine, and maybe maybe it'll bring them back together, but I don't know. I can't do it, but I'll be the first one to listen to it. I'm with you on that. I wish I could help, but it's out of my control. But I would bet anything that it'll happen.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. So we got 2 more from
Okay.
Eddie. Would you ever be up to grab drinks with some of your supporters, tell some more stories, and be able to shoot the shit in person?
Always, every day, anytime. Yeah. You met me like that. Shit, Cameron called me one of the Patreons the other day. He's like, "Hey, can I call you for 2 minutes?" I was like,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you for 37. I think at the end, he's like, "I can't believe you talked to me for 37 minutes."
Yeah.
I was like, "Call me tomorrow if you want."
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call me. Who is this? Eddie. Call me tomorrow if you want to hang out. I don't know where you're at, but I like to drink. I love to talk comedy, and anyone that supports me. I mean, like I said, you can come to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tone's right here sitting in my house. Countless of the Patreons. I'll always hang out with you. Just let me know if I'm near you. I don't know where you're at, but if you're in Denver or if we're ever in the same town, you're welcome in my house, or I'll meet you anywhere.
Yeah. And his last question is, who's your comedic crush? I don't know if he means like looks wise or like style wise, or just interpret it how you want.
My comedic crush. That's a hard one. I mean, I think like girl wise, I think like obviously Sarah Silverman's hot. I used to have a big crush on Sarah Tiana, who I think is probably having a baby right now or just had one. But I featured I worked with her in Vegas, and I always just thought she was so funny, and I thought she was really cute and cool. So I'd probably have that. But I mean, honestly, I've never really dated a comedian, but I've hooked up a lot of comedians. Bad idea. bad idea. They're all blocked like in life. Like I had to tell them, you're blocked. Like if I see you, don't talk to me.
Oh,
like,
wow.
There's probably 3 or 4 I've hooked up with that I just don't ever talk to. And then there's 3 or 4 that were cordial, but it's never a good idea. Male wise, like I have a crush on this Johnny Pemberton last night was so funny. I have a big man crush on Andrew Schultz. I love what he's doing. I thought he was great. Obviously Tom Burt. I think Ali Wong is so good. I have a crush on her on every level. Just funny, and she's just hot little Asian girl. I've never really dated Asians, but she's incredible. I don't know. That's probably it. Like as far as sexual crush, like Sarah Tiana, Sarah Silverman, Ali Wong. Then there's just some hot ass LA chicks that they're not very funny, but they're just that's just LA. Like there's just some hot ass chicks. I think Annie Letterman's like hot and funny, and I really like Annie Letterman just because she's like cool. She's just really funny. Like she's great to hang with, and and then dude wise, probably Schultz is the one Schultz, Ali Wong, Johnny Pemberton. I'm trying to think who I've seen where I really will just watch. Like I went last night just to watch Johnny Pemberton he did this song he closed with, which was great. And then he did this joke about yeehaw that was so funny. So, but it's always changing. Like, Brody was my main. I would always watch Brody. It's just people doing unique shit or just like taking chances. I don't want anyone pandering. I hate fucking some of my friends. I hate their acts. And some people. I'm just like, come on, man, take some chances. Yeah, I think I talked about it on here before, but I think comedy's like a car ride, and you should get in the ride. Sometimes I'll go too fast. Sometimes I might crash. Sometimes I'll go through a dark neighborhood. But that's what you should want. These people that just come up and pander and try to make everybody happy. That's just like jamming everyone into a car and then just staying in neutral. That's boring. What do? You ever sat in a car and heard someone hit neutral? Just wow. And then jam as many people as you can in a car. There's nothing good about any of that. Even if I crash. And then even if I'd rather say, hey, come for the ride. If you didn't like the ride, just don't go with me on a ride again. You took the ride and that's it. You don't need to run to Yelp or just, okay, that wasn't for me. Yeah, that's the thing that I think a lot of like people nowadays, it's like, it's okay to have maybe not a bad experience, but like just not enjoy the thing and then be like, you know what? I don't enjoy it, but it doesn't mean somebody else won't. Yeah. Like, I'm crushing on Chappelle just for the way he defends comedy. Like that speech he gave when he won or that. I mean, it gives me chills, that one special when he comes out and he does that impression. And they're like, who am I? They're like, you're Trump. The guy's like, no, I'm you. Yeah. You motherfuckers are the worst. You're the worst motherfuckers ever. And he says it with such like frustration of, man, we're just trying to make you laugh. And you motherfuckers want to complain. So obviously Chappelle's the best, but I just love the way he's defended comedy in that speech. He's like, I know comedy. Let these guys, and we got to take some chances to see what works, like I'm in love with this retarded bit and it starts slow. I did it for all these woke motherfucker hipsters bars the other night. And then by the end, they're like, and I'm like, see, it's just a joke, guys. And it's a real part of my life. Let me talk about my life. It's not just because you have some fucking woke life and perfect. Sometimes people get weird when I talk about my dad, but that's my life. Yeah. And I'd rather talk about that. I don't want to talk about the difference between dogs and cats. So anyway, I'm crushing on anybody taking chances, man. If you're out there going for it, that's what we're bringing comedy back. Take chances, man. Fucking don't try to please everybody. That's not your job as a comic. Like I've said on here a million times, you tell me not to do it, I'm doing it tomorrow. Yeah. I'm doing it right now. That's the comedy code. So that's the way to live. All right, we got to get you out of here. You got to go see your daughter. Yeah, I think that's all the questions anyway. So. Tone, thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks for sitting in with me. This was fun. Patreons, thank you so much for the questions and just being everything you do. We'll continue to do these. This was fun. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'm an open book. I'll answer anything you want as long as I don't hurt anyone's feelings, and I'll still probably do that occasionally. But I love you guys. Rest in peace, Kobe. You took our mind off it for a little bit. Tone, we will... Follow us on the 31 Podcast, YouTube. Do all that. Don't let all Tone's hard work go to waste because he's putting out the dopest shit. I don't want just comics asking me. I want real people. And you guys are already on board. But we love you guys. There'll be more episodes. I don't know. This will probably come out today and then the next one tomorrow and more. There'll be more. So we love you, Tone. Thank you, buddy. Any parting words?
If you see something you like, don't be shy. Retweet it, share it.
Yeah.
All of it helps. And we'll just continue to grow in 2020.
That's what we're doing. All right, buddy. Thank you for everything. Guys,
Thanks for
love
having
you. We'll talk to you soon. See you. Perfect. 2:55. I was like, shit.
Brandt Tobler trying to expand globally. Long curly hair and a beard, but he ain't Toby Keith. You might have thought it's beef, but we gon' handle that. Stealing jerseys off of the wall like fuck Vander Jack. Okay, he ran with that, and now he's on the loose. Put a little bit of poison in his Jamba Juice. Go ahead and drink on that, just take another sip. Need an appraisal, shout out to Ron Huff and Dick. The kids loving this, I know you heard it, son. The purpose is perfect, every person we learn something from. Go ahead and come along, we have a little fun. A few questions, how about 31?